Hello everyone, it's me Angela Martin and welcome to another quickcast. Now in this episode we'll be looking at the new features of macOS Sonoma. Now like our iPad OS videos, we're going to be doing this over a number of episodes. Now before we get started with looking at the new features of macOS Sonoma, there's some best practices we gotta adhere to before we even make the upgrade. Now I know many of you might have made the upgrade already, but this is just for future upgrades and especially for those who have not made the upgrade as yet. So first of all, you got to know if your Mac is compatible to the new Mac OS. Now I've put down this slide to indicate to you all the Macs that will be compatible. Now there is another handy tip that I want to show you guys. If you go to the website called everymac.com, you can click on the macOS Sonoma details. And on this web page, it will show you each and every Mac which will be compatible with the new macOS Sonoma. Also, it gives you the model identifier of each Mac, so you can easily compare it to yours by going to your Apple menu, and you can hold down the Option key on your keyboard and click on System Information. Under your System Information, you will see that it will give you your model identifier, and if you find that model identifier on the everymac.com website, it will be compatible with the new Mac OS. Now another tip is to make sure that your third-party apps will be compatible to the new Mac OS. Now to achieve that, you can go to another website called roaringapps.com. Now under roaringapps.com, you can click on the View macOS apps, and here it will give you all of the apps that will be compatible on the macOS. Now to make it easier, you can simply just go to the Filters button and click on Only Show, because it shows other macOS versions as well. You can select Sonoma, and then you can check the status by filtering it to Works Fine. Now on top of that, if there's a specific app that you want to check out, you can type it into the search bar, and then it will specify if it is compatible by giving you the green tick within the macOS 14 column. So then after that, the only other tip that I can highly recommend is to have a backup ready. So guys, please do a Time Machine backup before you even start the upgrade. Now without any further ado, let's get started with the first episode of our new Mac OS. So the first thing that we will spot after we've done our upgrade is that our lock screen comes up with a high-res video of Sonoma. Now if we should log in to our Mac, it will then slow down and stop to become our desktop wallpaper. If we should go to our system settings, and we go to our wallpaper, we can see that there are a lot more wallpapers to choose from. Many of them not downloaded on the Mac by just spotting on the downwards arrow. You can also set these wallpapers to also show up as the screensaver to do exactly the same as what we do with the lock screen. And we can also set it up to all spaces. There's something that I don't like to choose, because then you can set up multiple wallpapers on your multiple spaces if you are using spaces. In other words, if I should now go into my mission control and I add in another space, as you can see, I didn't set up on all spaces. So I can actually use a different wallpaper on the second space. Now to achieve that, keep in mind you must move your system settings window to the space that you want to make the change to. Now there I'm going to select, let me go with the California Dolphin pod, and there you can see it's now a totally different space, separate from the one that I had. But keep in mind, keep it off from all spaces, otherwise it will also change the first one into the same. So now that I've done that, now I can achieve exactly the same as I did before. When I go to my lock screen, it will then become a high-res video. Pretty cool. So I'm just going to log in again, it slows down, and that then becomes my desktop wallpaper. Now besides being able to change your wallpaper, you can also change certain visual tools on your desktop. In other words, like we could do with our dock where we can show and hide it, So if I should go into my desktop and dock, I can then automatic hide and show dock. But I can also do that to the menu bar now. So if I should go to my control center, right at the bottom, I can automatically hide and show menu bar in full screen or desktop only or always. And then I will have the same thing. So if you want that additional screen real estate, you can achieve that now with hiding and showing your menu bar as well. I'm kind of old school, so I'll just keep it as when I'm in full screen only. On top of that, the very minor change that's been added on, seeing that system settings, sometimes it can be a little bit of a navigational challenge. We have this arrows here now at the top where we can easily jump from our previous menus into our next menus. Now, another awesome navigational feature is so that we can show and hide desktop items. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some items onto my desktop. And I can already see that I've organized them nicely into stacks. If I should open any window, you would have noticed if you click on the desktop, it will move your window away. So if you're the person that likes to keep certain files on your desktop and you want to just see the desktop without those items, you can achieve that now too. So if I go back into my system settings and I go to my desktop and dock, and here I can see show items on the desktop, which will then hide it. And I can also show the items when I'm in my stage manager, so I can untick that as well. So if I should go back into clicking on my desktop, you will see there the items return. If I should click on my desktop again to bring my windows back, it will hide the items and only concentrate on my windows. It works pretty handy if you're also now within your stage manager and you've got multiple windows open. You will see that it is focusing only on the one window, which is not showing any of the desktop items due to the setting that we changed within the system settings under the desktop and dock setting, where we unticked it under not showing it when we're in stage manager. But if we tick stage manager on again, the items will reappear. Besides the navigational features that we just looked at, an awesome new feature is the fact that we can also add desktop widgets. If we should now go into our widgets library, I tap on the edit widgets button, and here in my library I can now select any widget. So let me go with the weather widget, and I can then choose the format. I'll choose the big one, and then I can move it to any place on my desktop. While my widget library is open, I tap on the widget and I can choose a different location or setting for that specific widget. This becomes actually pretty handy if you are using a lot of shortcuts, or if you've created shortcuts. So if I go to my shortcuts widget, here you can see I've got quite a few shortcuts going on, so I'll drag that also onto my desktop, which gives me quick access to all of my shortcuts. With having so many widgets on your desktop can become quite busy and many cases distracting. So when that's the case, you can switch over to your desktop and dock setting in your system settings and change your widget style to monochrome. So now with all the shortcut colors in this widget and so on, you can all see it's all black and white. And even if you should go and add in a photo widget, you will see that even a photo widget will come up as black and white. Also, another awesome feature that comes with your widgets is the fact that you can even select iPhone widgets as well. So if I should go back into my system settings, and in my system settings, I go to my desktop and dock setting, and under my widgets, I can use iPhone widgets. So I've set up quite a few widgets on my iPhone as well. So now if I should go back into my widgets library, so now you can actually see if I should scroll right to the bottom, there's another section that is open. It says other device widgets. So I can expand that. And this is now all my iPhone widgets, and I can select those ones as well. So I'll just tap on done. The one widget that I added in was my weather widget. So if I should go into my weather widget, it will take me straight into the app. Now, with my weather app, I can now change my units as well. Another super useful feature is the ability to change some settings within your Spotlight search. So if I go to my Spotlight search and I type in, or say for instance, my Bluetooth, and now that I've typed in my Bluetooth, you can actually see that it shows me that I can just tap on the button and there I turn my Bluetooth off. And of course, at any point I can just turn it back on again. So pretty handy without me even going into the settings. So guys, that is a quick overview of some of the visual changes as well as features that's been added onto the macOS Sonoma. Of course, taking into account all of the under the hood features that is adding to the performance of especially the new Apple Silicon processors. So guys, catch me in the next episode. We're going to do some more exploration of the macOS Sonoma. And that's me, Angela Martin. All of the best, guys. Farewell and good fortune.